Station 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, Jim George is here from American Cable Services, and he's here to answer our questions about our cable TV and about technology in general, and anything goes. The phone number is 622-9622 if you'd like to be on the air to talk to Jim, and if you need any advice on your cable, he'll even talk you out of paying for cable. He'll even lose business to help you out. He was just telling me about some antennas that you can just get and just cut the cable altogether. 70 channels possible with just an antenna. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, that is cool. And I know you set Doug up with one of those things, and he loves it. It's saving him so much money. It's it's not for everybody. Some people want that cable thing. But,
I understand.
But my goodness, yeah. So
yeah, if you can get, there's about 8 movie channels. There's they have commercials. Me TV, My TV, This TV. One's called Movies. One's called Get. One's called Cozy.
Yeah.
But they're all movie channels. And so, although they might have the Humphrey Bogarts or the Edward G. Robinson movies, they're great. And so movies that are more than let's say 10 years old. But it's all free. I mean, where could you go and put up something like for $70 and never do it again?
Right. I have a question for you. It's an opinion question, and then there's maybe an actual question. So let me ask them both. It's about Netflix. Mm-hmm. All right. There's a thing opening up in Disney that's from, what's it called again? Avatar. Okay.
Yes.
And there's this thing in Universal for Harry Potter. And there's so many things, like for Pirates of the Caribbean. So there are movies that have rides associated with them, okay? Now, I haven't seen any of those movies. Mm-hmm. I've never seen the Pirates of the Caribbean. I've been to the ride, but I've never been to any of them. And I thought, well, maybe I will enjoy the theme parks more if I know the movies that they're based on. Okay.
Could be.
So my question is, do I have a question about this? Oh, my question is this. Is Netflix
senior moment?
Is Netflix worth it? And the other question is, how do I find out what Netflix offers? If I go to their website, and I've done this, so I don't want you to think I didn't do my homework. I said, do you show Harry Potter? Do you show Avatar? There's no answer. You have to actually subscribe before you know what they have. That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I don't have Netflix. My children all have Netflix. All my 3 daughters, and they love it.
So is it maybe more cost effective to just rent the movie from like iTunes or something?
Yeah, or just get it as a DVD, and do it, watch it that way. You could stop it, pause it. Now, you could do the same thing, I believe, with Netflix. People out there who have Netflix can answer that question for you. But at least this way, you could stop it, pause it, watch it later. And then you can get it from Redbox. One of those places.
One of those things. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that, Robert. How come I didn't think of that?
Watch it at your convenience. I think it's $1 a day. To rent a movie. So if you keep it 2 or 3 days because you're busy, it costs you $2 or $3. If you watched it all on the same night, because I know you have a routine, but I'm assuming Saturday you stay up a little bit later Friday because Saturday you don't need.
Yes. Then I'll be working. Well, this month until the end of May, I'm helping out the Literacy Council with this big thing.
Yes.
By the way, we should put your picture on it. We need to get your signature on it.
Okay.
Your autograph, Jim George. You're a radio personality.
Radio personality, yeah.
So, the other thing I wanted to ask you about was the SAN, S-A-N. Let me tell you about the SAN.
I thought you were going to ask me about the accordion.
The erotic accordion?
Yes.
Did you hear that story?
I heard it walking up.
All right, you were not here last week, so I want to ask you about where you were, by the way. You were at one of those conventions?
Yes, I was in Atlanta, Georgia at a Momentum convention, which is internet capabilities. What is it we can do with the internet other than just high-speed, connectivity? And of course, it's everything from educational, not just the sites themselves, but the education that the internet affords. It's a little new, it's leading edge. But as I know more about it, I'll be bringing it in.
Did you happen to see this week that Amazon released a new Alexa? Is that what it's called? Alexa, that has a 7-inch screen and a camera, and so you say, "Call Aunt Susie," and then it'll call Aunt Susie, and you can see Aunt Susie and talk to Aunt Susie. No more dialing numbers, no more knowing how to program anything. You just say, "Call Aunt Susie," and then she'll be getting this thing, and she can either say yes, show the picture, or no, just give me the audio. If she's naked or doing the erotic accordion or something.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the Skype situation. If you each have a computer, you can talk back and forth and see each other. They just put it together into a convenient box.
Yeah.
Where it would do it automatically.
Yeah.
Voice recognition, things like that.
That's amazing, really.
Yeah.
It's very much like what do you call it? Not the Flintstones. What's the other one? Oh, Jetsons. Thank you. All right, I want to ask you about the sand thing, but you do have a phone call. Let's take that phone call first. Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air with Jim George.
Yes, good morning, Mr. George, everybody.
Good morning.
See, I'd like to have your take on, I notice now that smoke detectors are coming along with carbon monoxide controls they're together in the same unit. What is your take on that? I know, like with a smoke detector, it's got to be replaced high near the ceiling because smoke rises. Is that good for a carbon monoxide tool, or should we buy like a separate unit for that?
No, they're cheaper if they're all in one. They're more expensive if they're separate. So I would get the all in one, and I'm assuming you have a smoke detector in your garage also.
Absolutely, that's the most important, probably the most important place to have it. The way I operate.
Yeah, no, it really is, because if you think about the number of house fires in our neighborhood alone, and I've been in that house for 31 years, but we've had 2 houses burned down due to people pulling in the garage with their car, turning it off, unloading, closing the door to the kitchen, let's say, going in, preparing a meal, and open the door to the garage only to find it in flames because the car, caught on fire. So if they had a smoke detector, just the first sign of smoke or whatever would have happened. They could have raised the garage door. They could have put the fire out. So yes, the garage smoke detector is very important.
Would you, if you had an all-electric home, would you need a carbon monoxide detector?
Yeah, there are other ways for carbon monoxide too. The other day I was at a building that has a kitchen in it, and the kitchen is fed by gas. And so as soon as I walked into that building, I smelled gas. So my first assumption was one of the pilot lights on the stove or oven door or something, is out. But I looked, and no, the pilot lights were lit. So what it is that the flame could not consume all the gas. In other words, if they had the flame so low, pilot lights so low, and so the whole building smelled like gas.
Oh no! So
I told the guy, you either turn the gas off outside, or increase the pilot light. Turn it low. He said, "Well, I turned it down to save money." Well, if someone walked in there with a cigarette or lit a lighter or something, who knows how much residual gas is in that building? Right. And then
let's say that you have absolutely no gas whatsoever in your building. It's all electric.
Well, keep in mind that things that heat up, whether they're coils on your stove, if you have that type, even things that have transformers in them, they all give off some type of ozone, some type of emission that's in the air. If you had one of those real sensitive sniffers, too bad Radio Shack is closed, I could even tell you what one I have, you could go around the house and you could sniff all the different gases, and it'll actually try to label it for you and say that you have an argon gas here because you have a leaky fluorescent bulb, you have this kind of gas. Unbelievable. But you and I, we don't think about those. So any kind of protection you can get, I would say take it. That's why you have that's why you have a whole house surge protector the same way. It's protection.
I think he left.
All right.
All right, we'll take a little break. We'll be right back. If you have a question or something you want to say to Jim, the number is 622-9622. We will be right back. The
weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On this Friday, sunshine and some clouds and very warm, high 89 in the coast, 94 inland. Friday night, mostly cloudy, though 66 inland, 71 along the coast. Times of clouds and sun on Saturday and very warm with a shower or thunderstorm in spots. The high 83 at the coast, 93 inland. On Sunday, mostly sunny, highs in the mid-80s at the coast, near 90 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
Coming this and every second Friday of the month at 11 a.m. is Trinity Healthcare Medical Center with your host, Dr. David Kuhn. Trinity Healthcare Medical Center is Ocala's only progressive primary care clinic. Be sure to listen in and also check their website at thcmc.com. Then call them with your questions at 512-0000. That's 512-0000. That's every second Friday at 11 a.m. for Trinity Healthcare Medical Center here on The Source WOCA.
This is Jan Marino from Palm Garden. So often when you advertise, it's hard to quantify whether your efforts are effective, but I have a success story. In my travels to medical offices, I ran across someone who recognized my voice from the radio and told me that they felt like they already knew me because of my association with WOCA. My message to you, they're out there, they're listening. Truly, radio gets results. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, WOCA, The Source.
Share the love this spring with Oak Ridge Dental Care. Oak Ridge Dental Care is having a canned food drive now till June 21st. So the next time you come in to have your teeth checked, just bring in 10 cans with you and you will receive 10% off your visit. Oak Ridge Dental Care is located at 9590 Southwest Highway 200. Call with questions, 414-4952. Please note, offers not to apply towards account balances or dental services already delivered and not in conjunction with any other offers, discounts, or reduced fees plans. Just Google it. Oak Ridge Dental Care.
Hooray for all the moms in our lives.
Right from the start, she was the one who nurtured you and supported you in every pursuit.
And this year, you are going to cater to her.
Call Honey Bay Tam at 352-816-0011 and order all her favorites.
No cooking for her.
If it's just the two of you or the whole family.
This is her day, and Honey Baked Ham makes it easy for you to pamper mom.
Now call 352-816-0011.
Oh, ask about their special candy selection.
All right, 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. Having a really good morning here at the radio station. And Jim George is joining us, and he's still on the phone. I mean, on the radio. And you can you can be on the phone with Jim on the air. Thank you.
Testing 1, 2, yeah.
622-9622. All right, so I had a question about SAN. SAN. May 3rd was National SAN Architect Day. Do you know what this is? Okay. So let me read it to you. SAN is an acronym. It stands for Storage Area Network.
Right.
So Storage Area Network architects manage America's data. That's what it says. Mm-hmm. They perform the thankless job of managing America's IT infrastructure, organizing data networks, handling security, guarding against data breaches, making sure payments and invoices go out on time, handling financial resources, and ensuring human resources compliance. In short, they are engaged in every aspect of corporate life, yet there is virtually no acknowledgement of their extensive contributions. It goes on and on and on to say they're unknown. Most shareholders of big corporations don't know who they are. And even with all of that, I still don't know who they are. What is a SAN, a Storage Area Network Architect? Who are those people?
So when you have a infrastructure in place, let's say it's the internet, and then you have your little standalone IT guys in the office that manage the whole, let's say all of Martin Marietta's system. And then you have several Martin Mariettas, and all that information gets transferred from, corporate to corporate all over. Someone's got to make sure that that bandwidth and that security is in place. So they created this SAN, the Storage Area Network, years ago. By years ago, I probably mean 25, 30 years ago. And it was only like 1 or 2 people. And then now it's thousands of people.
Yeah. Oh.
So they're the ones who make sure that the network stays up. So they have software that they wrote themselves that queries everybody's infrastructure. AT&T's, Level 3, CenturyLink, everybody, and then it reports back as to where the problem areas are, and then they contact those areas and say, you have a problem, we're going to route around your area. But the first word is storage. And so what it really means is all the data centers. There are hundreds of data centers. If you go down to Miami, for instance, in the NAP of they call it the NAP of the Americas. It's like on the 33rd floor of this huge building, and that's where and it's so high because it's a hardened facility, 2 or 3 generators, all multiple UPSs. So if there was power out for months, the building could run, the whole building, and
wow.
And every one of those data centers, the national data centers, Texas has got one, Tampa's got one. So we have one in Miami, and we have one in Tampa. And yet, the city of Ocala has their own, and Gainesville has their own, but they're not on the level with a NAP, a national appliance place. But they make sure all the data stays intact going from point to point.
Wow.
So that if you paid your bill online and then they came back to you a week later and said you owe your money, and you say, well, I did it online. Well, the sand is what got it there. It made sure that all those little words that mean this is important. You know how the government monitors if you say bomb, if you say Trump.
That's what they say,
This does the same way. So it makes sure all that gets through.
Wow.
Yeah, so but it's behind the scenes, like you say.
So do we have any in Ocala?
We do not have a NAP in Ocala, a national, but SANs are individuals. They're people who work in that area.
Okay, so a SAN architect might work for AT&T, but not necessarily in Ocala.
Right. For instance, I had a gentleman that was a homeless vet. I think I told you this a while back, that I helped and got him into Vets Helping Vets, and they were remarkable. They got his teeth cleaned the very first day he walked in there.
Oh.
He hadn't had his teeth cleaned in 3 years.
That's awesome.
Wow.
He saw a dentist. They helped him with clothes. They put him in their wrist. But anyway, he was a Cisco certified engineer. And he got a job in Orlando and moved to Orlando, and he's doing SAN.
Oh, okay.
But
wow,
he's working for Cisco directly as an enterprise engineer.
That was a great thing you did by bringing him.
I just met him in a mobile home park, living day to day. He would clean bathrooms or mow yards or whatever, just for a place to stay and some food.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And when I heard he was a vet, I said, man, you got to get down to Vets Helping Vets. And believe me, he didn't want to go. He was self-sufficient.
Didn't want to, humble, right? Didn't want to, too proud.
But and his car broke down, and a friend of mine and him, and I gave him some money to get it fixed. But now he's, believe it or not, he's making $70 an hour.
Wow.
As an enterprise engineer.
Wow. Thanks to you. You made him feel worthwhile.
He got the job. He passed the test. He was the guy.
Yeah.
I can't even spell IP, I tell people. I don't know anything about IP.
We have somebody who wants to start a Professor Gadget Jim George fan club.
Huh.
Where would they write you? What's a good... I'm not making this up. They want to start one.
Yeah, good email.
Professor Gadget fan club.
Well, I have my first name is Jim, so the first letter J, and then the whole last name of George. So it's J George at Amera Cable, AMERICABLE.US, AmeriCable.us. That's my email address.
We have created a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
You're going to be inundated with technology questions.
Like I can answer. I don't have time to do a lot of things I like to do, but I'll try my best.
You're going to be the what's the Clark Howard? You're going to be the Clark Howard of technology.
Yeah.
Clark Howard's a smart guy, boy. I tell you the truth.
So are you.
And that lady, what's Kid Kubota? What's her name?
Kim Commando.
Kim Commando. Oh my gosh, yes.
Man.
You know what she looks like, right?
No.
Not a bad looking lady.
Oh wow.
She should be on the mural in a fluffy dress.
I guess we need
beautiful.
some coordination.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll use a Kim Commando story because it's just so interesting sometimes.
I've only heard her once or twice, and it's usually late at night while I'm traveling.
She's got kind of a husky voice, doesn't she?
I don't even know what channel she's on or anything. I just happen to come across it.
Yeah.
But when I do come across it, it's fascinating, the things she brings up.
Oh, my gosh.
Very techie.
She's
a lot more techie than me.
But you know what you do, Jim, is you actually take the time to listen to people and their questions and not just give your input, but you hear what they're saying so you can help them. Other people don't take the time to be personable with people and really care, but you do.
Yeah, I try. It's difficult, juggling a lot of different things. You're a mother, you're a radio person, you work with the literacy count. Think about all the things. It's hard to put them all in perspective. It's to get them all done. It's very difficult.
But
I'm the same way. I just got 10 irons in the pot and they're all hot.
Yeah, but what you did with that veteran, you didn't see it coming. All of a sudden, there it was.
Right.
God put you together in that path, and you took it and you helped him.
That was a God moment, that's for sure.
Tell us about your mother. Tell me about your mother.
Well, my mother's passed away. My dad died when he was 86. My mother died when she was 86. So there's hope for me. I'm only 72. And she never learned to drive. She said she never needed to drive. She was the greatest cook anybody could ever. She had stayed home and cooked all day. When you walk, we've had the Four Seasons in our house. We've had all these famous people in our house that would come by to eat. Believe it or not,
really?
When they were in Florida, they would come by to eat.
Nice.
I can remember Frank Sinatra being at our kitchen table when I was a
cool.
kid.
Wow.
They just all heard about her, and they would all come and eat. And so the house was always, full of food and cooking and smells.
Did Frank leave a tip? I hope.
Did what now?
Did he leave a tip?
Oh, everybody that came, left something. As a matter of fact, we had one person that came, and next thing we knew, we had a FedEx envelope from New York, and it was a Tiffany bracelet. They sent my mother a Tiffany bracelet.
How is it? Explain the connection.
Just word of mouth. They just, my oldest brother, was in the entertainment business, and so he would book local bands.
I gotcha. Okay.
And every so often, let's say the Four Seasons were down in Miami or something, he'd book them, and then he would say, "Hey, if you want to have a meal, because they can't go to restaurants in those days, they were so famous.
Sure,
that, so they come to our house.
Okay, gotcha.
And
nice.
so every other day at our kitchen table there was another guest. We've had Russian ambassador to our house.
How marvelous!
Unbelievable. My mother was something else.
Did your mother have anything to say about the guests' reaction to her food?
No. My mother was a hard case. I really.
But I mean, like if Sinatra said, "Oh my gosh, I love your pimento pie" or something.
Yeah. That's a way. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, did she remember when somebody loved something?
Yes. She would actually say to me, "I see in the news where they're playing, let's say in Miami, would you guys take this food down to them?"
Really?
Oh.
And I would go to the Fontainebleau Hotel in Miami.
Yep.
And wait and get to the bellhop, and from the bellhop to the concierge, to find their room to walk in and give them all this food. And they had been waiting for it.
Your father was a famous boxer, right?
Wrestler.
Wrestler, okay.
Yeah, world champion wrestler.
Yeah, gosh.
Yeah. The boxing story that I know is I went to visit Jack Dempsey one day in New York, and because he had a restaurant there. And his son was there. We had a nice talk. But Jack said, "You know how I became a boxer?" And I said, "No." He said, "I was a wrestler, and your dad beat me so bad I became a boxer."
Oh,
really?
My.
And he became, a world champion boxer.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. That is so neat.
Yep, good stories.
I love those stories.
Good times were had by all.
Any plans for Mother's Day?
Just taking my wife out to dinner. We're trying to debate where right now. You mentioned some restaurant. What's Rondo's? I've never even heard of that.
Mojo's.
Mojo's.
And Rondo owns it. It's
oh,
Mojo's.
I see. Now I'm getting.
on 17th Street across from the bowling alley.
All right.
And then there's another one on East Silver Springs Boulevard that has an outdoor patio and fire pit.
You ought to do a special one day
really
just
nice.
On restaurants, local restaurants.
We've kind of done that. We've done it. Yeah.
I remember the other when you had a restaurateur come in, but I meant just.
Oh right, yeah.
Have people call in and say, I love this restaurant.
Absolutely, yes. Well, Jim, have a great Mother's Day weekend. Thank you for what you do. We'll take a break. Be right back.
News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. President Trump tweeting this morning about fired FBI Director James Comey, saying he'd better hope there are no tapes of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press. Also tweeting, as a very active president, it's not possible for my surrogates to stand at podium with perfect accuracy, a reference to the apparently contradictory information over the firing of the FBI director.
President Trump told NBC News his decision to remove James Comey as head of the FBI was not based solely on the recommendation of Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein.
Regardless of recommendation, I was going to fire Comey, knowing there was no good time to do it.
White House officials had said earlier that the president acted on the recommendation.
Fox Radio's Rachel Sutherland. Some major economic reports just out. Consumer prices rebounding moderately in April. Retail sales up 0.4%. Fox News, we report, you decide.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend